I don't really wear orange a lot just because I feel like it throws off a weird color towards my face. But anyway, directly into the stories today. So this one today is Tales from the Front Desk. I have seen that some of these hotel stories are really people's cup of tea. Those are the ones that have tended to get the most of my views, however small they are, but any views I appreciate. So this first story is from Own Resort 3261, and this title of the story is called Rant. So this is just a small rant. Sorry, I don't know where else to vent about this to. I'm so sick and tired of getting told constantly by guests that working the front desk at a hotel job is a woman's job and that I need to find another job since I'm male. When did any job have an assigned sex or gender? I get paid decent to live off of, and why does it matter to guests if I want to do this the rest of my life? When I'm being told this by guests, it's making it hard to just keep a smile on my face and tell them, have a good day. Summary, why does it matter if a male works front desk? And I believe that this is an issue that guys face all the time when it comes to certain jobs. Like, I know especially nursing. Guy nurses face this a lot. Guys in some customer service positions, they face this a lot. Like, they expect guys to be the manager or, something like that. And there are a whole bunch of social issues and social expectations that we're all aware of at this point, and I don't need to dive deep into, but I just wanted to include this guy's rant because I wanted him to hear from someone. I'm sorry that you have to go through that, and you probably hear it at least once a day, okay? But still, I'm sorry that you have to go through that, and that shouldn't be that way. All right, next story. This one is from Capri 16. Checkout reminder call. Another short one. As the title suggests, I was calling all the do-outs to remind them of their checkout time and list all down the rooms that did not answer. We always ask the bellman to check the rooms that did not answer the calls to make sure if it's still occupied or vacant. Here's what happened. The bellman knocked on one of those rooms, and when no one opened the door, he opened it with the master key and saw a couple still lying down on the bed. When the bellman went back downstairs, I didn't have any thoughts that something happened during his checks, and he just advised me to call that room to confirm the timing of checkout. I called the guest and told... Oh my goodness, Okay. So, short rant of my own. Spell check is a thing. Grammar check is also a thing. Just saying. I called the guest and they told me they will leave after half an hour. Checkout time is 12 p.m. The bellman checked the unanswered rooms at 1 p.m. and the guest came down past 2:30 in the afternoon. The guest complained to reception why someone went inside the room. I explained to him our checkout policy, and if no one answered the calls, they have to check the unanswered rooms, and he insisted that we're not allowed to go inside. Mind you, it was already past checkout time. Guest asked for a phone number, and I had no idea which number he wanted, so I gave the manager's. When I mentioned that it's the manager's, he refused to take it, and I asked him which number does he want to take. He said police or from the ministry. I told him to Google the number since he's the one who wanted to do the report of what happened when I already explained to him why we did that. He took an invoice and lastly said he will show it to police and file a report. I told him to do so and have no control over it since I know that we did not do anything wrong. Now, grammar aside, this person did nothing wrong. You have a specific checkout time. And if you don't check out with the front desk, they don't know if you're still in that room or not, because many guests just leave. They don't let the front desk know, hey, we're done with the room, blah, 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 we're checking out. They just leave. So they have to check and see whether that room is still occupied or not. And if you don't answer the door and you know it's past checkout time, they're going to open the door with the master key. So, it sucks that someone was in your room, but that's how hotels work. Last story. So this one is from Primary Ed 7788, cheap lowballing guests. We get guests like this occasionally. I can sincerely say they can afford the rate, they're just being really cheap. All my staff do a pretty good job at remaining steadfast about our rates being as listed, except for one of my lazy night auditors. So this young Russian couple got married on Friday. For some reason, they didn't prearrange their accommodations for themselves or their guests. So they come to the inn to inquire about basic rooms. My night attendant, we'll call him Jay, told them the rates as listed. They wanted to be shown each room type. Jay showed them photos since we don't do room showings. The bride tries to get Jay to give them a rate of $150. Our weekend rate was $229. Naturally, Jay tells them no, says the most that he can give them is a 10% off for booking directly. The bride didn't like that and started to get really pushy. Jay stands his ground and tells them in the most professional way to take it or leave it. The entire party leaves in a huff. Well, I guess they couldn't bother other properties about it. They came back around 11:30ish to ask my night audit about it. The absolute walnut says yes. He knows that any form of rate adjustment isn't allowed, and discounts above 15% have to be approved by me first. So he gives this group of 20 some odd people the rate of $150. They all wanted to pay in cash too for some reason. Very sketchy. My morning supervisor came in yesterday. The till was all screwed up. Dude just dipped out without filling her in. This morning, I got a long email detailing the situation. Jay informed them they put the rest together. This night auditor was already skating on thin ice. He's been written up twice, once for showing up extremely late 3 times in a row, and 2 for giving his local friends a heavily discounted rate without my knowledge or approval. $60 when the weekday rate for the cheapest room is $179. And now this. This rant is mostly about the night auditor. However, cheap lowballing guests really irritate me too. This is not the area to come if you're a penny pincher. Now, I really think that they should have titled this story about the night auditor and not cheap lowballing guests. Like, yes, it's sketchy that they paid in all cash, but sometimes that happens. But usually that happens at a no-tell motel, where the rooms are likely going to be like $50-$60 a night, maybe 75. Don't ask how I know that. That's not. I gotta stop saying weird stuff like that because I'm implicating myself in things that I did not do. But anyway, so for them to give such a high discount when they're not even allowed to do, and they've already got 2 other strikes against them, this night auditor should be fired. Okay? Yes, the guests were sketchy. Yes, they were lowballing them. Yes, it's annoying, but this night auditor is the one that really encourages the problem. When you have policies at your store, location, branch, whatever, okay, and you have everybody else adhering to the policies, but this one person is the person that gives in and says, oh yes, we can do that. Oh yes, we can do that. It makes it harder on everybody else. I cannot tell you how many times I've had to say, I'm sorry someone else did that for you. but they shouldn't have, and I am going to follow the procedures the way that I'm supposed to. So, fire them! Anyway, thanks for listening to stories today. Love these hotel stories. They actually are just like, tickling my fancy. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I am Kelly. Bye!